Welcome, timekeepers. Welcome to the My Reader Minutes. For those of you that are new here, thank you for stopping by. To all my new subscribers, thank you for joining me on my journey. I'm only coming here for a split second. I wanted to go into the arrest that was today. The former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO, Mike Jeffries. Y'all familiar with that? Well, my only correlation or my only memory of Abercrombie and Fitch. I used to shop there when I was a little younger. At one point in time, that was the place to go. American Eagle, Abercrombie and Fitch, to get the latest and greatest fashion trends, right? But I'm assuming, I guess he was the CEO then, I don't know, but he's been charged with S trafficking over a dozen victims. And it's much more than that. Those are just the ones that have come forward, according to the prosecutor that spoke today from the Eastern District of New York. New York is taking people down, all types of people. And it seems to be those of a certain tax bracket. Now, there's a stereotype that comes along with the lower income tax bracket. Should there be another stereotype for the upper tax bracket? Because it seems to be a running theme. Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Puff Daddy, now Mike Jeffries. And there are a couple of more out there. But I'm just saying, it seems to be a running theme. What was the guy in California? Weinstein. All of these people have one thing in common. Let me read you something I found earlier. Okay, so here's what I have. So, former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO arrested on S trafficking charges. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer discusses the arrest of Mike Jeffries as a part of a criminal S traffic investigation by the FBI and federal prosecutors in Brooklyn. Former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries and two others were arrested Tuesday as a part of a criminal S trafficking investigation by the FBI and federal prosecutors in Brooklyn. Jeffries, his partner Matt Smith, and a third man, Jim Jacobson, are accused of operating an international S trafficking and prostitute, shout out to Tisa Tells, business that recruited young men for parties in the U.S. and abroad, according to an indictment. The former retail executive and Smith relied on their vast financial resources. Jeffries' power as the CEO of Abercrombie and numerous people, including Jacobson, and a network of employees, contractors, and security professionals to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international S trafficking and prostitute business was kept secret, the indictment alleges. Federal prosecutors say that the trio paid dozens of men to travel around the world to engage in S acts. The indictment mentions 15 alleged victims, identified as John Does, 1 through 15. Jeffries allegedly recruited, hired, and paid a slate of household staff to facilitate and supervise the events. Jacobson traveled throughout the United States and internationally to recruit and interview men for the so called S events. During tryouts of potential candidates, Jacobson required the candidates to first engage in S acts with him, according to the prosecutors. The entrance of the Abercrombie and Fitch retail store, they're showing a picture of it in this article. The indictment said many of the men were coerced, led to believe that the attending these events would yield modeling opportunities with Abercrombie or otherwise benefit their careers, or in the alternative, that not complying with requests for certain acts during the S events would harm their careers. The defendants are charged with S trafficking and interstate prostitution. They are expected to make appearances in the jurisdictions where the men were arrested in Florida and in Wisconsin before they're brought to Central, I don't know what that is, and on Long Island, New York at a later date for arraignment. We will respond to detail to the allegations after the indictment is unsealed and when appropriate, but plan to do so in the courthouse, not the media. Brian Bieber, an attorney for Jeffries, and Joe Nascimento, an attorney for Smith, told ABC News in the identical statement. Abercrombie and Fitch, an attorney for Jacobson, declined ABC News' request for comment. Federal prosecutors had acknowledged the investigation in January after alleged victims filed a civil lawsuit a year ago. Jeffries, who was the chairman and CEO of the powerhouse teen fashion brand from 1992 to 2020 to 2014, has been accused in civil lawsuits of exploiting young men for S at parties he hosted at his Hamptons estate in New York, London, Venice, and elsewhere with his partner, Smith. His lawsuit accuses Jeffrey Smith and Jacobson and Abercrombie itself of luring attractive young men under the guise of making them an Abercrombie model and then forcing them to take drugs, illegal substances, and perform S acts. This disgusts me. All they all ever do is sell dreams. This is the modeling agency. We're going to make you a big star. The music industry. We're going to make you a big star. Everybody has their dream selling tactic. But before you do, you have to do this. You have to turn tricks. You want to be a great actress? You have to turn tricks. What kind of mess is this? Who wants that lifestyle? I guess they go after the vulnerable ones that really, really want it. And this is what happens. Like, if you do this, you'll get this. If you don't, oh well. I'm appalled. I really am. I'm appalled because I feel like they've always divided the country, have and have nots, right? And I feel like there is no middle class, and they're barely there. They're struggling to stay there, but there is no middle class. You either got it or you don't. Okay. And they make it seem like the ones that don't, people look at them like, oh, look at them. We should be saying, oh, yuck, look at them. That's what we should be saying. Those in the higher tax brackets. Name someone, not all of them, I can say, not all of them, but quite a few that have the capital and the finances are sick and twisted and demented. Now, I only named like 6 or 7 people. That was enough. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And they only make up 1%. So how many more? What's the ratio of those that have not involved or engaged or in anything kinky? When you go to have to coercing people to do stuff, you have money, right? And if you're somewhat handsome, why do you have to coerce people? Why do you have to make them take illegal substances? And why do you have to pimp them out? I guess it's a financial thing. Yet they spend their money on flying everybody around the world and engaging in all these S events. You don't want to pay your part of the taxes in the United States that you made your money in? I mean, that's what I'm getting from the headlines. They want tax breaks to do this stuff. I'm just saying. Now, I'm sure it's not all, because I would be wrong to say all. However, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Now, there are some rumblings about the guy that owns Victoria's Secret as well. What's his name? S. Wexner. There's some rumblings about him too. Like he's at the top of the pile there. What is he worth? Lex, he's worth 7.9 billion. This is as of 10/22/24. That's today. 7.9 billion. Let's see. So what they have from facts for Les Wexner is founded L Brands, a global retail empire that included Victoria's Secrets, Bath and Body Works, and served as the CEO for more than 5 decades. Wexner announced in 2020 that he would step down and sell a majority stake in Victoria's Secrets for 525 million to a private equity firm. Wexner got his start in 1963 when he used a $5,000 loan from his aunt to open the Limited. I remember the Limited. That was the store in the mall. I remember that, which sold only fast moving items like shirts and pants. His ex co defendant and financial manager, Jeffrey Epstein, who was accused of S trafficking in mid 2019, Wexner said that the late Epstein took funds from him. He brought Victoria's Secrets for $1 million in 1982 when it was just a small, failing chain of lingerie shops in San Francisco. He's 87 years old. He lives in New Albany, Ohio. He is married with 4 children. He collects Picasso paintings and vintage Ferraris and a 300-foot yacht approximately named Limitless. Wexner has donated nearly $250 million to institutions in Ohio, including Ohio State University and Wexner Medical Center. Oh, well, I don't know. There's a connection there. I just don't know where it is. But um, that was his connection to Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Well, all I'm saying is there's rumblings about him, and he's 87. I mean, he probably ain't, well, I can't say what he's doing now. I don't know what them people do, but all I know is Mike Jeffries has now been arrested and 2 of his cohorts along with him. And I guess we'll see if they get bail. They may not be a threat to anybody, they may not be, threatening any witnesses or whatever. They don't even know who probably the John Does are, I'm sure, but maybe that's why they kept them as John Does, so they wouldn't be able to do that. So it's interesting. Interesting. What you think, y'all? I am all for the victims getting their justice. I am all for everyone who has committed crimes like this against other innocent people. They all should be treated the same. Nobody should get any special treatment despite what your bank account looks like. If everyone needs to sit behind bars, then that's what they need to do. If everyone should get bail, then everyone should get bail. I prefer the latter, that everyone I mean, I'm sorry, not the latter. I prefer the first option, that everyone should be behind bars, because nobody needs to be treated in that manner, male or female. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but I'm glad justice prevailed. New York ain't letting up, y'all. If you've done anything in the last 20, 25 years, you need to be thinking about it. Where were you? Could you be in any compromising places where they might have taken a snapshot of you? Think about it, because they are not playing. New York is not playing. Southern District, and now here we have the Eastern District. Y'all leave a comment, like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. It's free. Everyone be blessed. Peace.